Michelle, and we're going to do about a 40-minute, as we do, yoga class. We'll start on our hands and knees. If you have some blocks, you could experiment with some blocks today to lift the floor a little bit for you. If you don't have blocks, no big deal. You have your breath, you have your willingness, your desire to roll out some kind of mat or towel or just hang out on your carpet and breathe with us. So I'm lifting my chest, but drawing my ribs in. My floating ribs feel like they're almost touching, you would say, without being real tight and constrictive about it. Inhale, and just see if you can't float your vertebra in front and behind you. Elongating the spine, allowing there to be space. What I like about yoga is that I'm experimenting with my breath in order to quell the meanderings of my mind, but I'm also experimenting with different spots in which to breathe and create some flexibility. So I'm going to hang out on my left knee here and draw my right leg back, not lift it up, not contort the hips, just draw the right leg back, and from the inner thigh, lift the right leg. So I'm not just hiking it up, I'm lifting from behind the muscles of my inner thigh, my belly and my groin, and maybe I lift the left arm out in front of me. Now it does not matter where your right leg is. All we're trying to do is breathe and keep the hips level. Exhale, maybe lift a little higher on the inhale. Exhale, take both hands to your blocks or to the carpet or to the pillows and reach your hips back into child's pose with your arms in front of you. Shake your head gently no. Nod your head yes. And we'll take the other side. So again, I'm going to set up just as though I'd never done it ever before. Taking the second side is always nice in a sense because you know where you're going, but it's also, you tend to repeat behavior without really thinking about it. So I'm going to draw my left leg back with the utmost curiosity about what that feels like to do that. And then level my hips off again. And then from that inner thigh muscle, as I reach the ribs in and look past the mat a little bit, keeping my left hip down, lift that left leg. Breathe one. Notice what's happening with the right foot. Hopefully you didn't sickle or turn out the left foot. We're trying to create some equanimity, some sense of consistency in the hands, in the knees, the hips, the feet. And then I'm going to find my way into a wide-legged child's pose. So touching the toes together, hips apart. Reach your arms in front of you if you can. If that's too taxing for the shoulders, no big deal. Take your hands behind you. In fact, now everybody take your hands behind you and give yourself a little bit of a pummel. Soft fists here, just reaching into the hips, the small of the back. And then come on up. You can put your hands on those blocks again for downward facing dog. Again, creating a little bit of height includes a lot easier of your heels to the floor. And breathe. Shaking your head no. Nod your head yes. And then I'll place my blocks to the side. See if I can keep that elongated spine toward the back of my mat. You know, you have to be your own sort of adjuster here, so you might take the hand and draw it on your hips. Maybe the other hand. Tucking your shirt. And then walk your feet to the front of the mat. Now, if you have very tight hamstrings like I do, or if you have lots of injuries, you might take the block or the pillow between the thighs, especially for the first one, giving a little micro bend in the knees. Release all the energy all the way forward onto the balls of your feet. So we're shifting forward, lifting the heels, lifting the calves, and shake your head no again. Bend your knees gently to roll your body up to standing. Shoulders by the wrists, maybe. Shoulders by the, ears. Those are what they are. Clench the fists and drop the arms. So you might swing to the right and to the left. Just realign the spine, letting the back have an easy crack if it needs to. And then we'll come to the front of the mat. I'm going to see if, all right, we'll say hello. Perry, it does not hurt. You're good. You're great. All right, roll those shoulders back and inhale right away, arms up. Exhale, fold in half, swan dive forward, taking the hands toward the ankles, toward the floor. Wherever they go, they go. Inhale, half lift. So you're in this Ardha Uttanasana position. Bend the knees now deeply. Keep your eyes past your mat. Walk your feet back into plank, into this upper push-up position. The inner thighs are headed toward each other. You're drawing the belly in fully, fully, fully. So if you can't do plank without collapsing, don't do it. Stay down on your knees. If you do practice plank and you find yourself collapsing, it's going to hurt your lower back. So then come all the way to the floor. Release the toes. Inhale. Low cobra. So that means I'm trying to draw some length in my back, even though I'm lifting my heart and my chest. My thighs are really strong, trying to be really strong. And then come onto your hands and knees a moment. Tuck your toes under and take downward facing dog. The eyes travel to the belly, to the navel, your drishti, your point of focus. 1, 2, 3, the inhales through your nose, as is the exhale. 4, 5, look to the hands, bend the knees, and maybe at the end of the exhale, you softly jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, the heart lifts, the chest lifts. Exhale, round, fold forward. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. So that would be one of our sun salutations. We'll take another one just like that, similar. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold in half, hands to the floor, nose toward the knees. Inhale, heart lifts, chest lifts. On the exhale, look to pass the mat a bit. Walk into your plank position. Bend the elbows right away. You're going to hover here in this chaturanga, halfway down position. Roll up over the toes. Inhale, that's up dog. Exhale. Eyes travel to the navel, downward facing dog. Breathe 1 and 2. Full inhale through your nose. Full exhale through your nose again. Ujjayi Pranayama. Last one. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale fully as you look to the hands. Bend the knees. Walk or lightly. Jump the feet forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you can't breathe, just take a seat and breathe. Focus on your breath. It's a breath practice after all. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Look past the mat. Bend the knees. Let's walk just the right foot back. Pause for a moment. Walk it in. Walk just the left foot back. Pause. So it's sort of like what we did in the very beginning of class on your hands and knees. Just going to walk the right foot back. As you inhale, see if you can't lift that left foot. So that as you reach it back, there's a sense of strength in the belly. And you're identifying where the movement is coming from. Bend the elbows, chaturanga, roll up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Eyes travel to the navel. 1 and 2. Stretching the arms straight. 3 Let the head be heavy forward. Shift into plank. So I'm going to walk my hands forward to the front of my mat. Drop the left knee. We'll take a supported Vashisthasana. So right foot's going to flex. You're on your left knee. Reach your right arm up. Maybe the gaze travels up to the fingertips. Maybe it stays straight in front of you, more neutral in case your neck is feeling funny. Exhale, come into plank. Pause for a moment in your plank position. Drop the right knee, walk your right hand in underneath your nose. Stretch the left arm up, breathe 1. Maybe the gaze travels up 2, 4, 5. Draw yourself into plank. Come all the way to the floor for low cobra. Release your toes. Inhale, exhale. Reach your hips all the way back and then maybe take your legs straight, downward facing dog. Breathe 1, 2. Shake your head no. 4. Bend the knees, look to the hands. Walk or lightly float forward. Inhale. Very. Exhale. Inhale, take chair and stand tall. I've been wondering where you've been, Perry Nutter. Inhale, bend the knees, chair. Exhale, hands to the floor, nose toward the knees. Inhale, lift your heart and your chest. On the exhale, bend the knees. Hands are flat. So if you want to start practicing jumping into Chaturanga and you have those blocks, that's a great way to do it. You can place your hands on the blocks, keep your gaze right there in between, and think about a little string in the small of the back, lifting you up to the sky rather than like kicking your heels. It's not going to get you as far. So you're going to lift up and then you just easy peasy jump back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Immediately the left foot turns on its side, the right foot comes through the hands, the knees over the heel, arms travel up. Exhale through plank, bend the elbows, upward facing dog, inhale, inhale, downward facing dog, right foot on its side, take the left foot through, inhale, exhale, plank, bend the elbows, inhale, up dog, exhale, downward dog. Eyes travel to the navel, 1, 2, 3. Lift the backs of the thighs. 4, lift the kneecaps. My feet are about hip distance. 5, bend the knees. Look to the hands, walk or float. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, float. Inhale, chair. 5 breaths here. 1 and 2, ribs in. 3, 4. Let's try to keep our gaze up as we reach the right foot back to warrior 1. Open up to the side, warrior 2. Knees over the heel. Arms are outstretched. Try to keep the right hip back and the left knee back. The left knee is going to want to fold in, drawing an external rotation of the thighs. Arms out. Let's come through a vinyasa. Hands to the floor, pulling the ribs in the belly. You can always skip the upward dog, downward dog thing. Inhale, exhale. Taking the right foot through the hands, left foot on its side. Warrior 1, eyes are up. Open up to warrior 2. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Again, externally rotating, knee over the heel. And through vinyasa. We'll keep adding on to that. So you can lift the leg if you want to challenge yourself in your Chaturanga. So take the left foot through the hands, right foot on its side, warrior 1. Pinky toe down. Open up to warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And let's take a vinyasa. Hands to the floor. Here you are in plank. Bend the elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. The other side, take the right foot through. So the knee is in line with the heel. Left toe is really headed to the mat. Reach the arms up. Open up to warrior two. Reverse warrior, left leg stays straight. And come through a vinyasa. Finding your way into plank, you can always drop the knees. Upward dog, inhale. Feel free to take cobra. Downward dog, exhale. Last time, left foot through, right foot on its side. Warrior one. Open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale. Parsvakonasana, extended right angle. So take the left elbow to the left knee. Pause there for a moment. Massage out the right hip. Maybe take your block by the left foot. Glue the left elbow and the left knee. Reach the right arm overhead. If you can, take the left hand all the way to the floor. Fantastic. If not, no big deal. And exhale through warrior two. Give yourself a little energy as you come into chair. Inhale, left leg back. Right knee bends. Open up warrior two. Reverse warrior. Exhale, right elbow to the right knee. And or take the right hand all the way to the floor. Gluing the right elbow to the right thigh. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Warrior two. Give yourself that energy and come to standing. You did it. Exhale. Separate the feet about hip distance. Inhale. Take your index finger and your middle finger. Hold the big toes. Lengthen. Look up. Exhale. Bend the elbows out to the sides. Release the head and the neck. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, shimmy your hands underneath your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbows bend by the sides. Breathe. 1. Definitely keep a small micro bend in the knees. 3, 4, 5. All right, we're gonna find warrior three. So again, I'm loving my blocks today. I'm gonna place my hands on my blocks. Gonna find my way into Tadasana in a sense. So Tadasana is mountain pose. We're always trying to practice this mountain pose. So Tadasana all the way to the floor. I'm gonna lift that right leg up, like we started class, but this time I am gonna let the right hip travel to the sky. Flex, 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 so much flex of the right foot. Maybe the right hand travels to the hip. Breathing. Keep that right foot really flexed. Whoops. And then maybe you take both hands to the floor or to the block. Take your standing splits just for a moment. Bring both feet together, hug behind the thighs. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. And then if you don't have blocks, let's see what that would look like. So you're going to take your hands to the floor. Definitely keep a little bend in that right knee. Inhale, lift the heart and the chest. Breathe, breathe, breathe. I'm trying not to turn out my left foot at first. Yeah, I'm lifting my right kneecap so much. I'm on the fingertips. And then I'm going to turn the left hip to the sky. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. You can keep your gaze down. It helps with the balance a little bit, making sure that left hip is stacked on the right, so you've got to bring that right hip in probably. And then I'm going to take both hands to the floor and find that standing splits. Being really genuinely curious, without judgment, how different a side could be from the other. Heels really firm into the floor. Now I'm going to take this twist to kind of unwind, recalibrate the spine, the limbic nervous system, pressing the palms together. Maybe you take the left hand down and split the twist. Inhale back through chair. To get to chair though, I'm going to really focus in on the belly. Exhale, right elbow to the outside. Breathe, breathe, breathe. I'm going to keep shimmying my shoulder, my elbow to the outside there. Take chair, stand tall. Inhale, exhale. Coming to the center of your mat, taking your hands to your waist. And again, slowing down your breath. The inhale, having all the time to lengthen the spine. The exhale matching the length of the inhale as you drop your tailbone. Lift your thighs, your pubic bone. Exhale, fold just a little bit. You can gaze past the mat. Nice long back. Pulling the ribs in the belly. Then I'm going to take my hands to the floor. I might have to regroup my feet, turn the toes in more than out. Stretch the chest up again. Shift your weight to the balls of your feet. And then maybe you fold in half. If you have that block or the pillow, you can put it underneath your head. You can take your head all the way to the floor. We'll stay down here about 5 breaths. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, pull in the ribs in the belly, and come on up to standing. All right, we're going to find triangle pose at sort of a different time of our practice. Turn the right foot to the back of the mat, left toe in toward the right heel. Inhale, take the arms out, reach your hips to the left, take your right hand to the right shin. Keep a little bend in that front knee if you need to. You'll know you need to if it hurts or if you can't breathe. And maybe if you have those blocks or the pillows, you could take the right hand to the block. Maybe the left arm comes up. Some of my students have a lot of shoulder issues, especially during the stressful time, so you're just going to keep the left hand at the waist. Possibly the right leg comes straighter. The traditional, like Ashtanga hold, is to take both those fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, and reach them to the toe while the left arm comes up. I'm trying to lift my thighs and my kneecaps, like zippering them up, and then I'm going to change sides. So now the left toe is facing the front of my mat, the right toe is facing the left heel. Reach your left hand all the way forward. Reach your hips all the way to the window, as though everybody has a window, behind you to the back of the mat. Inhale, right arm comes up. Trying to stack the shoulders. It's a great stretch for the right hip as well, for the right waist. Inhale, maybe there's a little bend to the left knee. Being, again, really curious and compassionate about how different the sides can be. I'm trying not to let my hips swing back. I'm trying to let my left hip stretch all the way to the back of my mat and the right hip stack on top of it. Inhale, come on up. We're going to take triangle twist. So both toes now head to the back of the mat. We've got a heel to heel line up. The left hip is going to maybe need some manual coaxing. I'm going to scooch it to the back of the mat. Take my right hand and really guide my right hip back. Lengthen the left hand all the way out and past the right foot. Then you can either use that block, place the hand on top of the block, or you could take it to the ankle. Whatever you do, there's no slouching. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Windmill the arms. So the right arm comes down, left arm comes up, right arm comes up. Very fancy choreography. Reach the right hand in front of you. Right hand now is going to go to the left ankle, shin, block, floor. So many options. Squaring the hips and then letting the twist be just in the upper back. So I'm not trying to twist my hips out of alignment. Those are going to stay right there. 3, 4, 5. Left arm down, right arm up. Inhale. Bend the knees. Float out to the front of the mat and we're ready for some balance postures. So I very handily have a wall here. If you do as well, maybe you want to grab the wall. Otherwise, just try and hold the right toe. We're holding the right toe away from the left foot. And breathe. Possibly this right leg comes straight. Keeping both hips level. So even though the right leg is up, I'm trying not to lift the right hip. Breathe. 1, 2, and then maybe I take the right leg out to the side. And then back to the center. Let's try to balance there. Right leg straight in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that right foot in. And exhale, come on down. That's the whole dealio. I'll take it facing you this time. So I'm going to take the right hand to the right waist. Hold the left big toe. Inhale, try to square the hips. I'm softening my ribs together, drawing the belly all the way to the spine. Then maybe stretch that left leg out. Breathe. 1. Chest lift, shoulders back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the left leg to the left without opening the leg too much, or the hips, I should say. Keep that really square. Breathe. Strengthen in the belly. Look over the right shoulder. Flexing that left foot. Back to the center. Inhale. Release the hand from the leg. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take one arm balance. Bakasana, crow pose. So maybe you can investigate your self right now. Have you gone into fear mode? Have you gone into excitement mode? Have you gone into I can't do that mode? Just complete annihilation of any process. If you never get up in crow pose, you can still lead a very happy, fulfilling life. The way to get into any posture, especially in our balance, is just by conquering the beginning. So hands are still about shoulder width, and then I'm going to try and scooch my chest to the floor. If that's impossible, that's fine. You can take something supporting you and lift up and just experience what that feels like to reach your thighs away as best you can, but lift your chest. See what it feels like to have this point of reference, to lift your chest and reach away from it. So by thinking about a block or a big beach ball, I'm tossing my belly in toward my spine so much that I get some elevation here that I wouldn't. So I'm propping my shins on the forearms, creating like a little shelf there. Lift your heart and your chest so much that magically maybe your feet come off the floor. So yes, there's a lot having to do with the fact that you practice every day, and then this comes naturally. If you're just practicing with me once in a blue moon, be kind to yourself. Lift your feet off the floor, just one at a time maybe. In and out through the nose. Then maybe the heart lifts, the chest lifts, the tailbone, it's all the same height, perhaps. Inhale, let's plank, and then let it go. Right? Whatever you did, whatever you didn't, next week maybe. My teacher always said 2 weeks, and then you get it. Inhale, let's focus on the belly as you lift your legs up. Breathe. 1, 2, called Ardha Navasana. Ardha, half. Navasana is bow pose. Full Navasana. Now just notice for yourself, are your feet turning out? We're trying to draw the knuckles of the toes together and lift the hips. That's 1. Inhale, number 2. Breathe. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift the hips. Exhale down. Number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have those blocks handy, you want to practice learning to do your lift up. You can put the hands there. I think this is number 4. Breathe. 1, 2. Breathe, breathe, breathe. In and out through the nose. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift. Exhale, last time. Breathe. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can come down halfway. Breathe. 1, 2, 3. Lift the right leg and lift up. Then both legs come down. Lift the left leg, lift both legs, and come to Baddha Konasana. So if you know you've got knee issues, in either way, it's just very nourishing sometimes. Prop a block or that little cushion, maybe a small dog underneath your knee if they let you. Sitting up really tall. I'll show you from the front. So sitting up really tall, shoulders back and down, ribs in. So yes, you're on the front of the sits bones, but you don't want to overarch your back. So keep thinking Tadasana, pubic bone lifts, tailbone down. So there's a little rounding in the tailbone. And I'm going to try to be as flat as I can. Shoulders back, elbows in, gaze past the mat. 3, 4, 5. Pause there, 5 breaths. The reason why we pause is it allows the body to just open up on its own. You're not bouncing, you're not pushing. There's no yoga teacher like me sitting on your back and making you do something that wouldn't be the natural tendency. Just seeing where else your body can open on its own. And sit up tall. So there's this idea of effortless effort. Yes, roll out your mat, take that effort to breathe and to engage, even if you don't want to, or if you do want to, whatever the mind's saying, but then back off of all the work. Effortless effort. Now we'll take the crown of the head to the toes. So I'm going to draw the belly and the pubic bone lifts up, elbows on the thighs. So I'm rounding deeply, fold in half. I'm going to move these guys. Shoulders away. You just felt my shoulders come up. Draw the knees in, lift the legs up, breathe. 1. I snuck in another Navasana. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm trained in the Ashtanga system. In between every posture, once you get to the floor, you do the little chaturanga thing. So I'll show you just what it looks like. You can take your hands to the box, lift up, swing your legs through. Yeah, let me come back. Plank, chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. And then you jump through, sit on the floor, and you're ready for your next thing. So I'm going to bend my right knee, scoop my arms underneath, just give myself a little hip opener, cross the right leg on top of the left thigh, and reach forward. Now the full posture, you take the right arm behind you as well, maybe hold the right big toe. It's great for the digestive system. And then fold in half. But if this part is just not happening, don't worry about it. Just hang out with your hand behind the back, hold the left foot, and fold. Hold and fold. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, exhale. If you want to reach up through Navasana again. Anything you could do to keep strengthening the belly. Take the right heel on top of the left thigh. Maybe take that arm behind you. Inhale. Exhale, tilt forward. Breathe. 1. Scooching the hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift up. Janu Shirshasana. So we're just taking these forward bends really quickly and moving through. They're great to languish in, but that's just not for today's practice. So this looks like tree pose. The right foot is flush against my left thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Now, if you're very flexible, you might take your hips off the floor. Let's not today. Let's see what integrity we can continue to create in this posture by drawing the tailbone and keeping it down. In fact, you might take your right hand there, just reminding it, as soon as you reach toward the left foot, ankle, shin, wherever you are, the hips are going to lift up. Let them lift for a second, a teeny bit, and then be really curious how far you could go while keeping the hips and the tailbone touching the floor. Inhale, let's take a little twist. The right hand, oh good. Dog is coming. This is his time to play, I guess. Take the right hand to the right thigh. Look at the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can let the hips come off the floor if they need to a little bit. Fold more deeply. Inhale. Scoop up into Navasana for a moment. Right leg down. Left knee is going to bend out to the side. I have my block handy. I didn't need to. You can keep it lifted on there. Really draw those hips down. I'm going to, keep hold of my back there to make sure that the hips don't lift up. And breathe. Yes, thank you, Griffin. Inhale. Exhale. Go a little bit deeper. Maybe you could bend the right knee. We'll take a twist. The right hand on the inner right foot. Draw the left arm behind you. And inhale. 5 breaths up in Navasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 5 counts to the floor. Exhale 1. Exhale 2. Exhale 3, 4, and flop down. So there's this thing called strict Shavasana. It allows the body to regroup while keeping your eyes open. So softening everything, softening the work. Let the breath go. And then reignite the belly, so draw the small of the back to the mat. Take your block or your pillow as you bend the knees, maybe place it between the thighs. That just lets the small of the back really have an anchoring, really touch the floor. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, good. Perfect time-wise. I'm going to draw my thighs together against this block, and that supports me as I lift slowly, gently my hips off the floor. A lot of people say, I can't do back bends, it hurts my back. It's actually a very good therapeutic posture for the back, because I'm trying to draw my knees toward the front of my mat, but draw my chest to the back of the mat. So it's like this pull that you might get on the chiropractor table that you can't go to right now. Exhale, really keep lifting your body up as you come on down. So by resisting just that dump, you're going to, again, gain more strength in the core and the belly, which all protects the back. Inhale. Maybe draw your heels in a little bit closer toward your buttocks. Your fingertips should be able to grace your heels. Keep the belly pulled in. Lift the hips. Breathe 1. Gazes at the nose. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, maybe you windshield wiper your knees to the left and to the right. And then take no props for this one. Let's see, you can explore a wider stance. Either way though, turn the toes in more than out. We're not doing like acrobatic back bends. We're doing yoga ones. So press the pubic bone in toward the spine, which lifts the pelvis to the sky for a moment. Inhale, inhale. Lift the hips slowly, curiously, with curiosity, I should say. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you, interlace the palms, and breathe. 1, eyes on the nose. 2, try to peek at so you have to open your eyes. Peek at the ribs so that they're not askew. 4, and 5. If you have the block, it's a lovely spot of nurturing, therapeutic posture of this to kind of lie in the block this way, lengthwise, against the spine, vertically, and then release yourself to the floor. Supta Baddha Konasana, supine bound angle. So the soles of the feet are coming together, the knees splay, press your palms on your thighs. Inhale through your nose. Let's exhale generously through the mouth. Inhale, hug your knees into your chest. Seeing as it's only Monday, we'll work our way into a full back bend as the week goes on. Rotate your knees a little bit to the right, just like you're making a little small circle on the ceiling. Or if you're practicing outside in the sky, Inhale, draw the right leg to the sky, cross it over the left thigh. Yeah, and then like you're gonna go into a tiny little back bend, lift your hips, draw your hips to the right and your knees to the left. Try to keep your shoulders both on the floor for a moment. If you have a block and you want to support your knee there, so be it. Then maybe as you get more into the stretch, you can let that right shoulder come off the floor, maybe rub into the right waist. Maybe give a little pummel there. Keep the same leg crossed over and let them both now swing to the right. So my right leg is still crossed over my left, and I'm just drawing everything to the right. You can use your right hand, explore pressing into the thigh a little bit, breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale, come back to the center, stretch both legs up. Rotate the ankles. Maybe you take a couple of reverse crunches too, seeing as it's turned into quite the abdominal strengthening class. Right leg comes down, left leg really deeply crosses over it. Lift the hips and then draw the knees to the right. The lifting of the hips just gets you tighter into your cross, so you can take a twist a little tighter. Take that right hand and press it on your left thigh. Keep twisting the body, shoulders. Gaze over the left shoulder, breathe 1, 2, and 3. Back to the center. We're going to take happy baby pose. So holding the heels of the feet, turn the toes out, and then immediately swing your legs up into shoulder stand. So the hands come and support the small of the back, inward rotation of the thighs, and breathe. Plenty of ways to get here. You can just line your back and keep your legs up the wall. That's plenty. You can call this the wall. You can bring yourself to a natural wall. And then you can just begin to rock. Little rocks. And eventually the swing of the legs becomes fairly natural and simple. If it doesn't feel simple, text me or direct message me, I should say, and we'll figure it out together. Keep breathing. Take the toes behind the head. Interlace the hands maybe on the floor. Realign the shoulders. Slowly, slowly roll on down your spine. Try to keep the head down. We'll meet up in Matsyasana, fish pose. So the crown of the head comes behind you. Hang out on your elbows for just a moment. Then possibly, if the back feels strong enough and your ponytail can support you, you can come to the crown of the head, touch the palms together. The eyes, the drishti, locate at the nose. And exhale, come on down. Hug the knees into the chest. Little circle of the knees to the left and to the right. For our final posture, we'll take pigeon, eye of the needle, I should say here. The right heel comes over the left knee. You thread your arms through the little window. So the right arm's coming into the window. And I'm holding my left hand around my right wrist. You can pause there. You can stretch the left leg straight. You can draw the nose to the knee. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever feels really honest and interesting and authentic for today's stretch. Inhale. You know, silver lining of practicing in your own home or privacy of nobody else around is you can use this as a template, but it doesn't have to feel as important, let's say, to stick to my decision that this is what we're going to do in this moment. if taking single pigeon or double pigeon is better for you, or no pigeon at all. You might visit the pigeon and then find your way without feeling encumbered by the community, just to take your own version of what should happen now for your body. Inhale fully. Exhale. Inhale. Hug both knees into the chest, really, really tight. Get yourself squishy and small. And exhale. Flop yourself out to Shavasana. So a word here about Shavasana. I'm trying to draw my shoulders to the floor. Yes, the small of the back is off the floor, but not in an arched way. If you find that that's what's happening for you, definitely support your small of the small of the back by bending your knees, perhaps putting a block there or a pillow, because we don't want to have the small of the back off the mat. All that nice therapeutic undoing of the pelvis and the small of the back, the lower back, where a lot of us hold a lot of pain, will get activated again. We're trying to keep that a little bit more connected to the floor, to the earth. Palms have a natural turnout. Feet have a natural turnout. Your breath becomes pedestrian again, just the instinctive inhale and exhale. And just keep breathing there while I sit up and chant maybe a little bit. My computer went out, so I don't know what time it is or if anybody has anything to say, but we'll just ask you to stay on your mats. I'm rubbing my palms together, gonna take them to, the third eye, that of protection, my heart, compassion. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadhanam Dhyayat Sarva Vigna Pashantaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let all your obstacles fall by the wayside this morning, this afternoon. If you want to relook at them later and collect them again off your mat, you can. Or you can just say maybe there's no need to identify with them as strongly. Thank you so much for practicing today. Again, if you ever have questions, let me know. And if you'd like to join our Zoom classes, that would be great. See you soon. Have a good day.